Hey guys, we're back in the garage, and what I am working on here is an upgrade to the dash in my daughter's BMW X3. She's got a 2015, and I'm gonna upgrade to a digital dash. This is what it will look like here, and from an installation perspective, it actually looks like it's gonna be pretty easy. You use these tools here, and basically you're going to reach up in here, pull down on a couple of clips, and then this will pop out, pop in the new one, and you're done, other than a little bit of programming. It does come with a USB port, which will attach to the back, and then just hang that down in case you ever have to do a software update. I will say, just looking at this, number one, seems to be made pretty well. It does have a protective sheet on it, which will get removed after I do the install. It does have some weight to it. That's one thing that really surprised me about it. The other thing is, if we look at the back of it, just flip this over here, and this is all metal, it's not plastic, so this is definitely where it's getting some weight. I'm guessing this is maybe part of a heat sink that's used by the unit, but it does have, this one does not support heads-up display, but my daughter's car does not have the heads-up display on it. It's got, this is where the USB connects. I believe, I can't remember if this is the fiber connection, and then, or maybe it's down here actually. And then this is where your main connector goes in, but it's only a couple of cables to plug this in. Supposedly it's supposed to just work immediately, but just to kind of show you what everything looks like. Seems to be, again, nice solid build. So we'll get this installed and kind of go from there and see what it looks like. Just I'll flip through here. Yeah, you can see you just use the little tools that are provided to pop that down, and again, you can see what the connectors look like there. So before we go in and do the installation of the dash, one of the things that we have to do is we've got to get a little bit of information off of the dash here. Number one is you can see the mileage of this particular vehicle, and there is a method for going in. Basically what you do is you take the reset button here and hold this down, and it takes, I believe it's 10 seconds for, there's a hidden menu, there it is, and then just a single tap will go through and we're going to unlock. So I'll hold down, and then for this particular car, you take the last 5 digits of the PIN, and mine, we sum up those numbers, which is 32, and then press and hold, and now it is unlocked. And one thing we have to do is we have to go to tank, and you can see over here the tank left and tank right information. Now, according to the information online, in this particular model car, the total liters is 67 total liters, and it usually, I believe, gets split between, like, the left would be, for example, 37, and the right would be 30, is what the number would be. And you can see there, again, that total right there is actually showing you the total that's in the tank currently. And you can go back through here. So we long press to go out of it. Okay, I wanted to show you removing this. So you just take this tool here and you go up, and ideally what you're supposed to do is get it inside of that little hole right there, and you just pull down and then pull forward. If you come too far forward, you'll actually catch it this way and it'll still come down. So very, very easy to do. You can also, too, if you get it just right, you can kind of come in from the back there, but I think it's easier to point backwards and it'll just slide right out. And if you don't have this tool, you can use just a standard pick. Will work just fine. And then you just rotate this down, and then we'll just pull this out forward. So just kind of shimmy it out here, lift it up slightly, and then we can get to the wiring on the back to get everything disconnected. So we'll work on that next. So what we're gonna do is we got one connector over here. Pull this, push in the pin, and should be able to pull up here. Apologize, I'm trying to do this one-handed. And this is the fiber optic connector. Just pops right out there. And okay, I've got the dash out. And this particular car, we only have just the two connections. We got the fiber optic connection, which is right here, and then the main terminal connection right here. So we'll get that plugged in to the back of the unit. This is the USB cable. What I'm gonna do is I just popped out this side panel over here. I'm just gonna take the cable, and there's plenty of space right here. I'm just gonna coil it up and set it inside this cavity here. In the event that I ever needed to update the software, I don't have to take the dash out itself. So we're just gonna pop this out. And by the way, I found that the easiest way to get this dash in and out here is to basically pull it forward till it pops out and just slide it off to the side. I'm gonna just reverse that process here. And the instructions do say that you're supposed to, it's these pieces right here. These have to come off of this one, and you just pry up right here. You can see the little plastic retainers will pry up there, pop this out, move those over to this side over here, get everything clipped in. We'll definitely be saving the old dash here in the event that we should ever need it. But that's of course coded to this particular car anyway. And you can remove the VIN, but it's quite a tedious and difficult process in order to do that. So I'm going to get this moved over, get these moved over here, and looks like we can actually just lift these up slightly. Probably don't even need a pick. Oh, there we go. There's one. Do the second one here. Lift it up and move it back just like that. There you go. Okay, let's get the new one in. Okay, we've got the clips snapped in. Be sure you get them in and you hear a pop. You do want this retainer right in there to be set. And then for your connections here, here's our connection. This is the USB. These two ports looks like are not going to be needed in this particular car. And then our fiber optic goes in here. I've got everything in, and now we will slide this down into the vehicle. So I'll try, well, I'm gonna have to set it down so I can get all the cables done. All right, guys, we got the dash in, popped in, everything's locked in place. I'm gonna do the, everybody loves doing this, don't they? I'm gonna pull off that film. And mirror shine finish. By the way, this one, again, it did come with a couple of plastic adapters. I'm not sure what those are for, but they definitely were not needed. And then this is covering the fiber optic connector, so you can remove that here. So I'm going to crank up the vehicle, and we're going to kind of step through first startup here. So first off, you can see brake lights on. All right. So it takes just a second to stop up now, start up. Now I do know that we will be able to go in and configure the system here. So let's see, let me grab the instruction manual and we'll step through. There's a few initial configuration options that we need to go through. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the BC button on the stalk, and you can kind of see what all the different options are. This is designed to look like the most recent version they have, so this is actually pretty neat. And of course we'll have to do the conversion. So if we push and hold, this is supposed to get us to our options, and kind of like what we were doing with the dash button before. So we're going to go into each one of these, push and hold. Oh, here we go. Okay, there we go. Miles, temperature, let's see if we go down. Here we go. Factory settings. This is what we need. And we have, oh, okay. All right, so this is actually in miles, and we need to, oh, I waited too long. Okay guys, I have just about got everything set up. I've kind of gone through and I've adjusted the time down here. That's the only thing that's a little bit of a pain, having to use the BC button here. But as far as the usefulness of it, it's got some really cool features. It's very similar to, this is actually wheel. So as I turn the wheel, you can see it showing up there, which is kind of interesting. Not seen that, at least on the BMW I have. And I was not able to figure out, I did get the mileage put in, and what I haven't been able to figure out is apparently, I guess there's no way to do miles per gallon. I'll email the guy support about it, but that's the only thing I've kind of not been able to see here, is that particular value. But if you push and hold, you get the menu up, and you can come in here and make different adjustments to the display. You can see, you can go in here and you can do iDrive 7 style, and you've got different options for your display that way. You've also got, I've got iDrive 7.8 here, and then some other settings, like you can set the color of the vehicle. You can see this is actually, I've got a 2015 model here, and one thing I did notice, that the service does not pull from the computer. It's actually just whatever you put in here. So I didn't set anything there. The only thing I really need to verify is I do need to verify the settings for the fuel tank. It does actually say that what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to fill up the fuel tank, and then once it's full, get those numbers. I just want to be sure that this is correct. It bumped up just a little bit, and the amount of fuel in the vehicle was just a little bit less than half. So this may be accurate, but I am going to double check that. Other than that, I'm really pleased with it. I'll, you can see as I rev up the engine, you can see it going up, and I'll have to take it out for a test drive. I did change, it gives you the option, you can use oil temperature or you can use coolant temperature. I've got it set on coolant temp, which you would expect to be right in the middle. And other than that, I think this is a pretty neat little gadget. I got it off of eBay, and it is offered for sale elsewhere, but eBay by far had the best price. It was brand new, and like I say, it seems to be working just fine. There's no errors popping up on the iDrive system, which is good. So this car has an aftermarket upgraded center screen, and this also has the iDrive 8 design. Now my daughter uses really just for CarPlay, so I've never gone through here and kind of tweaked or adjusted anything. But if we go in, and you can see here, like for example, we got the 0.8, and then of course the same over here. This is actually pulling from the computer as well. So that's where that's coming from. But overall, I think this is pretty cool. And, you know, I'll give it the kind of the test of time here, be sure everything's working all right. And I'm going to be doing some driving of the vehicle here shortly. But feel free to comment below, and I look forward to it.